Hello, this is iGamingAccent, and this is our fourth episode brought to you by SBC Eurasia, and I'm your host, Vakho Mdivani. Today I'm joined by one of my good friends and ex-colleagues, Nugzar, who I will be calling Nuzi during all this interview because we are going back in a long time. And I think that Nugzar's story is quite awesome because he joined the industry from totally different one. And also he has just stepped in like few months ago into the new role. And I think he will share lots of good things about what's happening in the crypto business, what is his insights, and so on and so on. So first of all, how are you, Nuzi? How are you feeling today?
Great, Waho. Thanks, first of all, for inviting me in your great podcast, and thanks to SBC Eurasia as well for the opportunity. I'm feeling actually good because the weather was fine today in Tbilisi because last days it was a crazy raining weeks. So yeah, the mood is okay for now.
So weather defines the how good day starts and ends for me as well. Like when I'm waking up, like if there is a sunny outside, I'm feeling okay and energized from the point zero. But at the same time, I love the rain. The weather is really good in Turkey as well. So we have like a same climate. I think we are close to each other right now. And jumping into the straightforward the story, what I'm interested is, as far as I know for you for a long time, I know how you entered our like the company that we were working in. I want to know what was the trigger that triggered you to enter into iGaming industry, and to tell me a little bit about your personal story in regards where you started and how you stumbled upon this industry and how it's going.
So actually, everything started back in 2019. Then I was working still in financial sector, uh, about like a 20, 12 years before I was in banking sector and a financial sector for international institutes. As I said, in 2019, I opened my LinkedIn and I received some a message. Opened it, there was offer offering some position as a CEO role for Acharabet, which was already in family of Flutter International, localizing in Armenian market. So this was the first time I seriously thought about the iGaming and gambling industry. Overall, after a few months, I joined the team. As you know, it was the startup mode by that time, and the management team was developing. And yeah, this was my first steps. It's already 6 years I'm in the industry.
So, you mentioned that it was still a startup, and I think that's really interesting because considering that I was there, like I'm ignoring all the facts that I knew what was happening and how it was happening. I think there is an interesting story. So, it's a Flutter International localizing who has bought part of Achrabet and who is going international and localizing Achrabet AM in Armenia, right?
Yep.
And you mentioned it's like a startup. What made you think that it was a startup when you joined up? What like considering from really and stepping back into the backside of things, it's Achrobet, it's Flutter, it's like a big team, like 400, 500 people working there. So why was it startup?
Okay, good question. So actually, now when I remember the times, it was really incredible time and a really great experience for me personally. At my journey of career, because I met really amazing people in the team from Georgian side and Armenian side as well, like the great people. So how it started and when I felt first time, because I knew that it was startup actually, because when I joined, I got all the information, where was the company, what was our targets, mission, where to get. On the second day, there was a telephone call. It was when I just saw it was like a 3 a.m. or whatever, and there was someone telling that we have some kind of incident at downtime. And what's happening? Because before, for 12 years, at 8 p.m., the door was closed and banks and everything was finished. And first time I acknowledged that it's a different a sector, 24/7, and it was really startup. So and starting from that, I really understood that it's like a different type of, how to say, environment, the different energy and the different mindset.
Shutting down the door at 8. That is like a big difference, I think, what this
Hmm.
industry makes, because this industry doesn't sleep when everybody sleeps. So this is 24/7.
Yeah,
And coming from the financial sector and banking sector, that is like well structured, all the procedures are there, everybody knows who is responsible for something. Like there is a responsible person for a responsible person that is responsible for another responsible person. And
yeah,
coming here and taking this first shock that it's 3 a.m., somebody's calling you, it was like a wake up call for you. I think
yeah,
there are many stories like that you can tell us as well, because I've seen many times when we were at the same type of call. What was the most unique that you remember from that time? And also, by the way, it was 2019, so it was before the COVID hit, right? So
yeah,
you
exactly.
are new to the industry, you are new to the position, and we are all new to what is happening at that moment. So how
Yeah,
it transformed you as a manager and as somebody who came into the industry into what you are right now.
yeah. Interesting question. Look, like before, many times I have heard that there is some kind of hypothetical comfort zone where we, like everybody, have one spin or we are there or whatever. And there are like, I don't know, the guys telling that you need to break this comfort zone and like come out from there and so on. And I had read many articles on that, some books about that and so on. But starting like actually working in gambling, I really acknowledged and I really felt that it is the route to break and fight like with this comfort zone you are. Breaking all the doors and comfort zones and places you had before. You need to like strive to a new way which never been before, because actually, as you mentioned, it was startup and I joined the team as a C-level like a manager. But actually, when we started there, it was about 35 or 40 people, mostly with the customer service guys. Like we started, we can say, from the scratch. We were working on a field on a daily basis, actually, with the daily operations, starting from the risk side to the CRM operations and so on. And I cannot say that we had the role only of a managers. Responsibility, yes. From responsibility perspective, it was the same responsibility and huge responsibility. But we had to do and micromanage as well and do ourselves the things as well, because we did not have a staff there, enough staff there. And it was like going from day to day and growing. And exactly after a year and a half, or when the COVID started, I don't remember the exact like a time and don't want to remember
It's
for
like
that. But
pre-COVID and post-COVID for
yeah,
those who experience. So it was like during the COVID, let's say like that.
yeah, it was before COVID. But in the like a middle of this journey, like happened this what happened, these lockdowns, and you know that in Georgia and mostly like everything was locked for like 12 months or whatever, and we had to work like by distance. Our like a core team was there, I mean in Yerevan, and we had to like work by distance, and we had to restructure the business like to like a that environment what was there. I mean like shutting off the calls, moving to the chats, and last there like operational changes, like close the branches, just keep the our ATMs there, make the disinfections every day and so on. So it was crazy days, but yeah, as I said, nowadays it gave me much. It showed me really the mindset what I have right now. Really, I earned it there during this time. And actually the drive what we together like got there, and the belief that if you like do your best and if you think out of the box, nothing really impossible. This was shortly about before
Shortly
and after
about
COVID.
how you fall in love with the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Also, I think that one of the things that you mentioned there is that you were one of the first C levels that was on board and experiencing everything on hand. So you had to get your hands dirty, if that saying is like really good for this concrete situation. But later in life, you had to step up one more time, right? So after being a CEO, you became a CEO of Fortune Jack and like added lots of new strategic, let's say, responsibilities to your already like an operational and financial background. So my like understanding is that you have like a on-hand experience, but at the same time, like really good strategic advantage because you went from the small company, like a small startup, into the big one, and you met all the journeys. So how are you using everything in your new position, and what's difference? What is the difference there?
Got it. So first of all, I would like to admit, and you know, Vakho, like this very well, that actually all the goals and strategical goals, what we set in Armenia together, like with your participation, we did it, and I'm really proud of that because like the Acharabet in Armenia nowadays is really the first and like the top company and the brand. So regarding like a changing the environment and like a moving to my current position to Fortinject, as you mentioned and underlined, the main difference actually is like the responsibility and scaling up because nowadays, as you know, we are using the Anjuan license and we are working globally, worldwide. So it means that there is a today we have the wider spectrum of capabilities as well as we have different customers from different countries. We have today in my teams and our team's main goal is to provide actually those services what are expected from our customers globally. So our vision actually today is to have and to I would say to meet the expectations what our customers have because you know that in gambling we are how to say selling the fun and providing the service to our customers because they want to have a fun here to entertain here and our main goal is to have the ecosystem here where they can be first of all in a trusted hands and for Fortune Jack this is our like brand's one of the biggest strengths that as you know starting from 2014, Fortune Jack is like in the industry, one of the pioneer, and the trust what we have earned during this long period, more than 10 years, it is one of the biggest value what we got and one of the biggest assets what we have. And we are carefully taking care of it and trying to develop more our, how to say, services into the products to have the best experience for the customers who will join us. So shortly to answer, it's more like a wide and global like a business with the different cultures, with the different customers, and much more opportunities for developing the business, I believe.
Okay, got it. So many questions right now that I
Yeah.
want to dive into. First of all, about trust and integrity. Fortune Jack has been on the market from 2014, as you mentioned. During all these years, I think that what this brand was doing is they were building the trust and integrity and everything that is connected to it. I think that this question is mostly like diverted to when some new casinos are coming to the crypto space, how should they build the trust and integrity from the day one? I know that it can't be done in 1 day, 2 day, 1 year, but still, like, what is the foundation for building trust with the customers?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Maho. Actually, this thing and this value, the trust, I believe is one of the things what is not material and what you cannot buy. So it needs some time to like a build because it's very difficult to build as everything in this life, but it's very easy and simple to break down like in 1 day. So I believe that the concentration and on the customers' needs, on their requests, as well as the safety, because when actually the customers trust us, their funds, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. These funds are for fun and they have the limits what they want to like play and enjoy. But anyway, they trust, right? Trust you. And whenever they want to make, for example, withdrawal or whatever, it should be seamless. You should not like, they should not wait for it for an hours and so on. So this
Even
everything,
days
even days, yeah. So
in some space.
in some cases, maybe, yeah. But in our case, this is the thing that we do our best and we are focused and customer-centric, like oriented company and society inside the Fortune Jack. who really cares about the customer, and the customer experience is like our main values, what we care about. So about the new companies, as you said, you're right that there are, as the crypto itself is developing like worldwide very like rapidly and like increasing the volumes and the people who are interested in. Also, there are like new casinos who like and many startups who are starting their businesses. So the main thing what I can say is like the time. They need to first of all focus on a long-term partnerships, and this trust is built on time. So time and like a trust, I believe this is the main thing, and the customer-centric mindset is the key for that.
So keeping your customers like a partners at the beginning and following up for every request, going deep into what they want, and let's say meeting their expectations and sometimes even exceeding them is what builds trust in the long term. And that wraps up like really well. But at the same time, you mentioned that crypto is growing. Personally, for me, I've never been behind the wheels of the crypto casino. I've been in consulting things with crypto casino, but not like a hands-on experience, because like I was coming for only one direction, like promotions, gamification, loyalty, and so on and so on. Seeing that crypto, one of the cool things that crypto casinos are really, really trying to stand out from the regular casinos, I think that your insight would be interesting here as well. So you came from Fiat Casino, all right? So where every payment was done with either bank, like card, or like a cash deposit. So how it differs from the regular casino that in my mind is still a fiat casino and not crypto casino, like how it differs, like these two types of casinos.
Actually, the core, I believe, is the same because the wheel why the people so come to a crypto casino or like a fiat casino is just to entertain and have fun. This is the core. The difference is like only that there are guys who see the future and who use like the as a currency the crypto, and they might be like the guys who are very like a high in knowledge in technologies, and maybe like these guys are like a traders as well, a high and very good understanding in trading as well. From like a personalities, it is a bit difficult, but generally crypto customers love mostly the high volatile like games. For example, in the other hand, it will be like a sports book or it will be casino games or whatever. There is no big difference in that. So the payment method, yes, as you said, like here we have blockchain, and in fiat there are like a different channels starting from the cards to the wallets and so on. But yeah, and there are also like the cross customers as well who use both.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for the future, we see the demand from our customers as well. Yeah, we are thinking to have some like good news regarding it for the future. So yeah, all our like news and good news will be in our release, and yeah,
So I'm
that's
hearing
it.
something that I shouldn't hear right now, I think. So
Yeah.
you will be supporting both parts, right? If I understood it correctly. So you will have like a regular, like fiat payments and crypto payments all together.
Actually, we are thinking because, as I said, we are carefully listening like to our customers,
Mm-hmm.
and like this is one of the things that I personally hear from them. So we are thinking of it, and yeah, maybe one day we
Okay.
will satisfy both
One more time,
type of
building the
customers.
trust and integrity in the long term and playing the long term game here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice to hear as well. What about like you mentioned one main difference, and I think that is like was news for me. I heard that crypto players are waiting for loyalty, waiting for the cashbacks, waiting for the promotions and so on. But I've never heard that they are waiting for a high volume, high volatility games. And I think that
Hmm.
that is the insight that you have to be behind the wheels in order to understand and know the numbers there. Okay, that's good. Also, at the same time, regarding the players and regarding the good games and so on, one thing comes to my mind. I think that I've been on too many events, such as SBC events and every other event. I'm not going to mention the names, but all the industry events.
Yeah.
And I've seen like a crazy different side. I'm from the B2B side as far as I have a SaaS startup. So I'm not in that environment where some different type of magic happens. So my next question is about the partnerships and
Mm-hmm.
what is always happening in the space of affiliates, in the space of traffic buyers, and so on and so on. So
Yeah.
how crucial for you as a CEO of the company and for your team is the partnerships with not only just the game providers, like the payment providers and so on, but at the same time with the affiliates as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I need that story because I don't have that much experience in affiliate side of the business because we never used it, and in
Yeah.
all of our companies we never did too much effort regarding that.
Yeah. So actually, it was know-how and like something new for me as well, like working with affiliates. But actually, nowadays, the affiliate marketing is one of the key and strategic like direction, I believe, for like a for iGaming industry who are working like worldwide and generating I can say not majority, but minimum the half of the traffic from them.
Mm-hmm.
uh, the demand on such traffic is very huge. The competition is too high within like the industry. And as you mentioned, the events are supporting like SBC, for example, what is like several times per year organizing these events. It helps us from this perspective, like iGaming casinos, and from other side, like the affiliates to meet there and join our interest there and like make the connections there, because it's very important. Like there are many ways how to contact them, like via internet or via calls, meetings, but personal meeting and individual like networking has a very huge impact, as in everything, from my belief. So personally, I'm always attending such kind of events and like a meeting with like our current partners and with the new potential partners as well. Yeah, build. So our main like motto is like to build the relationship on the trust and the
Mm-hmm.
honest like a relationship. So from the directions, there are like too many sources and too many guys managing and working in this direction, affiliates. So yeah, this
But
is one of the key directions actually.
yeah, and one of the things that I'm noticing, like in this like space, is that their demand is increasing, right? So there are
Hmm.
many new casinos popping up, crypto directed, non-crypto directed, doesn't matter for our affiliates. They are still selling the traffic, so they are still really, really competing between each other. So
Yes.
how do you convince the holder of the bargaining power there, who is selling the traffic in this matter, to
Hmm.
work with you? So what's the secret sauce there?
You know, I don't know if there is, or I don't think that there is some unique secret like or key opening all the doors. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is that you should do your best, like offering like the fair, like a partnership, like deals with them. And you know, before starting, or like you never know what happens, even if we agree on something, what happens tomorrow, like it's very difficult. So there are some testing phase when you say that here is my promise, here is your promise, and we can test each other within, I don't know, 1 month, and like the data speaks louder. So after 1 month, if you see that our conversion rate, what I promised, is like that what I did and what I promised, then we continue. So the traffic and the, for example, quality, what you promised, if it's in the house, then we are making deal. If one of these like is not in the house, then we sit again and renegotiate and so on. I believe that the key is like in negotiation, analyzing the data and like giving the honest and direct feedback to each other. I believe that this is the key thing in this relationship.
Okay, got it. So transparency and like giving away or negotiating everything and discussing everything with the partners. I got it. I think that one belief that I always hold is that crypto casinos always innovating in ways that none other traditional casinos are innovating. So
Mhm.
whatever new cool mechanics, new cool features, product features, new cool UX interactions, promotions I have seen are like for the last few years, I would say even, are coming from the crypto casino space. And as far as I'm involved with the gamification, user engagement, and everything like that, I would love to know regarding how Fortune Jack manages it. So you already mentioned that crypto users are coming with high expectations, but regarding those expectations, how do you satisfy within the promotions and what is your strategy and approach there?
Good question. Actually, this is one of the key things because aside from the products what we have in our platform and like a 70% or 80% of the products what we have are like within the other casinos as well. So the main difference between the iGaming platform is the things what they create by themselves, what differentiates us from like other our competitors. So our main, let's say, goal and vision is to create the environment where the activities, after some activities from the customers from our side, they will meet the promotions. And these promotions we have launched, for example, a couple of months ago, the monthly promotions, what engages the customers like for uh, how to say, based on their activities, generating the benefits from our side. It will be collecting some, for example, golden icons with the big prizes, the loyalty programs, what we have and what we are like upgrading from time to time, as well as the other like bonuses and the we call it like a treasure bonuses what might like come to the users unexpectedly. So our one of the main things is like a individual like a customer relationship like a management, and for each customer we are treating this part individually. So from the tech perspective, yes, everything what we can offer and what we offer to our customer is like improving the experience even from this loyalty and from these promotions from time to time, from month to month. We try to improve, we try to understand what they liked more, what they did not like more, and what they did not like, and to take into account and make it how to say, more convenient for them and like a more fit their requirements.
So doubling
This is
down on whatever customers like, and I think that you mentioned such a, I will rephrase it in chunks. So doing monthly promotions for
yep,
engagement, and that is to not like bore the customers, right? So they are
exactly.
expecting something new on month.
Yes.
Long-term engagement, that you are using loyalty system for it,
Yeah.
and that is really, really cool for building long-term environment. Surprises for unexpected wins, so exceeding the customer expectations, because nobody expects that there will be a surprise, a mystery box lying around somewhere because like I'm playing with this casino, right? So it's like a
Exactly.
wow effect there. And one thing that I think you missed, and I love that about Port and Jack, I have to mention your free-to-play part as well, Majestic 7, where users have to guess correct score for the Premier League matches.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, exactly. For the sports direction is one of our main products, actually, what we have, and we are giving the opportunity like for making like the predictions for the goal scorers,
mhm.
which is like for free, and the winners are getting like bonuses for that and getting the winnings for that. And like this is not everything. Like we are planning to upgrade these kind of offers and make it like a much more widen. So yeah, in all directions it will be casino, for example, the slots where we have, as I said, and as you mentioned, like the monthly promotions with the huge prizes. In sports direction, we will be much more active. So, and we will like continuously try to improve the benefits and the bonus promotions as well.
That's good. I will use your words and I will rephrase. This is how I'm always explaining it to the potential or existing partners, how different casinos work. So at the end of the day, like it's like a marketplace, right? Everybody, almost 95% have, let's don't say 95, 90% what is on the shelves is the same. So one market is selling the same product as another market. So everybody has a pragmatic play, everybody has Stripe there, everybody has like SmartSoft. So everything is there. Payments are there, everything is there. But to stand really out of your competition, to do something unique, you need to stand out in one, either promotions, loyalty, engagement, customer relationship, going beyond the expectations, or you just be just another casino with the churn rate of 78 to like 85%, and you won't be happy with the numbers, and you will be going out of the business in like until your marketing budget runs out. So that is like a, to be honest, that should be like a universal truth, but that is not. But at the end of the day, it should be like that. Okay. I think that one question for me remains that for first Jack, I don't remember how big is the team. So managing all this internally, how big is the team? In what phase are you as a company right now? Because like it's a big like old company, not old in a bad way. I mean like it was one of the pioneers. Maturity, matured company. So one of the, let's say, pioneers in the crypto gaming and gambling industry. So how big is the team, by the way?
So today like we are almost about 120. Like I mean internal team, but we have like other teams as well. But around 120, 30. This is the number. From time to time we are increasing because we have ambitious plans. Accordingly, the team will
Accordingly, you will
increase
be
and grow.
increasing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
one, I think that this is something coming from like deep from my heart. So as we've seen like teams grow from like 70 people personally from me to 1,000 people, and you've seen that as well. So, and you were like on different position. Now you are a CEO. I think I'm going back to my first question right now. So what do you have and what type of tools or approaches or management type of skills do you apply in order for this team to be a team and work together and achieve the ambitious goals that you just mentioned?
Actually, the first thing, from today's role and generally what I think is the key is giving an example to the team. This is the key thing because you may say or like that we should do that, we should do this, and so on. But first thing is giving an example. The main thing is like the mindset. And here in FJ, here are people who are enthusiasts actually, and who wants to make really the good things and great things together with the team. I think so. We are selective hiring. We have very like how to say very strict hiring because the main thing what we focus on is actually the mindset for the people. Regarding the managing, the thing is that we are data-driven company and like we measure everything whatever we do. We might fail, but it is okay. We learn on it. So the mistakes are welcome to us and for us because this is otherwise we cannot learn. And we are open for the direct feedbacks, and the culture of like challenges are much more than welcome to us. So these are the key things and key values internally, how we drive the team. And
I think that driving by giving examples and being like one who does something like and showing what it is. And also, I think one of my favorite things, what you mentioned right now, was personally what I've experienced. So mistakes are okay. Mistakes are good. And mistakes at beginning of the idea execution or at the execution stage is 10 and 1,000 times better than it's not doing mistakes at all. Because if you're not doing mistakes, you are like stagnating, going down, and going into whole different other problems. And you are having whole different other problems that you might even don't know. So mistakes are good. And I'll tell like personal story there. What was my favorite and what gave me a personal drive, and I think that you will have few of them as well. So when I was starting up in this industry, I made a mistake because my stakeholder, I was marketing manager, and my stakeholder was like who was working in product team and was managing the poker was from Britain. So he had real like I'm not good in English. I can say that. Like I know I've been studying, I've been living there, doing some stuff, but I still consider myself not that advanced. But at the same time, I consider that I can understand any Brit. This guy sent me an email, and I read this email like 25 times afterwards. But at the first time when I read it, it was like our promotion will last one more month. And the promotion price pool at the time was 10,000 gel, which is like 3.5 thousand USD. I'm like
Yeah.
second month in the job, quite new, quite newbie, like don't knows anything, will fuck up everything. So that is the stage. And when the new month came, we didn't stop all any communication regarding that. It was high period of time, Euro 2000s, like every TV commercial, everything was taken, and somewhere there was my campaign as well. So it's 3rd of July or June. I don't remember the exact, it was June or July. And this stakeholder is writing, why have I seen my poker ad here and here? And I'm like, because we are marketing, we are working on it, we are good in it, so you have to see. And then the shock came. And the shock came that I just lost the company at least 10,000, not considering all the cost that was spent on ads and marketing. And I'm already packing up my things to leave. And I'm waiting for the call. You mean, not even call somebody to come and say that, thank you, you've been very good for the last 2 months. Now this is the door, please leave. And I got one of the greatest, let's say, lessons in life because of the good manager. So I'm anxious waiting for it. And when I come to there, so no yelling, something like, what happened? Was the first thing. I tried to explain it. I even, like, before going there, I read that email 25 times. I even asked my friends who knew English much better to understand, and they were like 50-50 maximum, like not even 60-40, it was like 50-50. But still, regardless of that, I should have asked, like, followed up, do you mean this or this? Like, not to take everything as upfront. And the manager tells me, like, to cut this down. You now learned 10,000 gel lesson. Go and never learn this small lesson again. And that was something that in my mind, like, it switched. Like, okay, guys, you are not firing me. Are you sure? Because I just lost the company 10K. And they were, no, you learned something today. So go use this knowledge to fail bigger. And I was like flabbergasted. For 2 days, I was not even talking to anybody. And I was like, what happened? But later in career, I have made much bigger mistakes with much bigger things. So I think that is the story that you hold as well. And or not the same one, but I think that you were somewhere in that shoes as well. Maybe you can remember one or two.
Actually, there might be, and I remember that like feelings, honestly. The precise cases I don't remember, but there were too much. But the main thing what I remember is that inspiration, that feedback that it's okay, everything happens, just like be careful next time. Like this is the main what I remember and what I try to like keep in myself as well and to live with this way.
Yeah. So mistakes are good, guys. Remember that.
It's okay.
Mistakes
Sure.
are good. Yeah, and it's okay. Sure. So I think that we passed due to our time, and I think it comes down to our tradition. And our tradition is that every guest leaves a blind question to the next one. So Ivan from 4H agency left you with one question, and I think that we've talked a little bit today about that, but still. So the question is, what are your main pillars in terms of networking, and what are your key ingredients for these kind of activities, going to the events and so on and so on? So what is it?
So for networking, actually, the first and like in communication is honesty. Building the communication on honest feedbacks or just to be honest, with the people, whatever you like, you think or whatever you want, just to directly tell them. This is one of the key things, I believe. The another thing which sometimes is an obstacle for the people just who are new for this networking. Sometimes, how would say, you need to step a bit forward and not to be afraid that something will go wrong, and you just need to like do. This is one of the key things, and yeah, I think these are the two things. You don't think that you shouldn't think that something will not happen. If it will not happen, it's okay, but you should try first, and the second one, just to be honest with everybody, and I believe that everything will be set
So
up.
honesty is still
Honest,
a key ingredient. I think that
sure.
Nuzi, you have somewhere sitting like a big banner there, and be honest. And you should be like everybody, whichever whoever comes to your room should be read that at the first moment. And the second part is the same as what we were talking about regarding the
Yeah,
mistake. So you should just step up, and even if it doesn't work out, you tried, and you
sure.
trying 100 times is much better than not trying at all or trying 10 times. So as
Exactly.
many things you try, as many new things you do is much, much, much better overall in the long-term game. And in this industry, we try to play more type of long-term game rather than short-term game. So that's
Yep.
great. I think that we should wrap up. And my last thing is that for you to leave something for our next guest, which even I don't know, I'm always repeating that I don't know who it will be.
Okay. I would ask your next guest. Very simple question. What would be the Bitcoin price after 1 year?
Nice, nice, nice. Let's bet on that. And I think that after that, we should ask him to bet on that price, if it will be over or under, and that will be fun. Nice, nice. Okay, I think let's wrap it up. You've been listening to iGaming Accent by SBC Eurasia and hosted by me today with Nuzi, one of my good friends. Don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite platform wherever you are listening from, and see you next time in 2 weeks. Cheers.
Cheers.